I'm about to show you some powerful scientific evidence that shows that you can connect with and influence another person simply by feeling your love for them, no matter how far apart you are. I know that this is a radical suggestion, and that is why it has taken me 8 years of research and hundreds of experiments to feel confident enough to show you our data and describe its profound implications. In that time, we've confirmed what mystics, sages and religions have been telling us for millennia, that we are spiritually connected by love through our hearts. To convince you that this is true, I will demonstrate how two hearts can communicate with each other energetically without the involvement of the normal physical senses. At the end of the video, I will describe the 3 practical steps you can take to connect heart to heart with anybody and dramatically improve the quality of your relationships. I have conducted many of the experiments with the help of family members and friends, largely from my home, but what inspired our research was the extraordinary result of an experiment we carried out many years ago. I was working away in Edinburgh, Scotland, and my wife Claire remained at home in Essex, southern England, 318 miles away. For a bit of fun, we simultaneously recorded our heart rates over a period of 20 minutes, and at the same time felt love for each other. Apart from a phone call to coordinate the start of the experiment, there were no communication devices working as we focused on each other. When I got home, I plotted out the data and was amazed by what it showed. You are looking here at my changing heart rate in blue and Claire's in red, laid on top of each other to aid their comparison. We knew that our heart rate patterns would rise and fall naturally, as you can see them doing here, due to such things as exercise, emotions and breathing. But we did not expect those patterns to synchronize when we were hundreds of miles apart. At first I assumed I had made a mistake in recording and analysing the data, or that we were simply seeing a coincidental lineup of the signals. So we set out to repeat the Edinburgh to Essex experiment from different locations. Some showed the same type of synchronization that we have just seen, while others showed very little. In this example, Claire and I were both anxious and distracted, and you can see the effect on the data. We began to realize that what made the difference to the amount of synchronization we were seeing was how connected we felt to each other. Our data was suggesting that we were somehow communicating with each other over these large distances. Perhaps we shouldn't have been so surprised that this was possible, because most of us have experienced what is called telephone telepathy. You may well have experienced this yourself. Have you ever thought about somebody and had them ring you or text you soon after? You might have put this down to coincidence, but I realised that our research might be pointing towards an explanation for these mysterious experiences. Could we be communicating energetically with the other person's heart, which then sends a message to their brains to contact us? We didn't have the data to answer this question, and I realised that I needed to take our research further and drill down and find out exactly what was causing our hearts to synchronize. To do this, I taught myself to code, something that was a huge challenge in itself. But eventually I was able to develop a smartphone app that would allow us to monitor both of our heart rates in real time. We knew from other researchers that local heart rate synchronization was something to do with the quality of a relationship. So this is what we began to investigate. By deliberately changing my feelings and focus on Claire, I could watch what happened to our heart rate patterns. The results were astonishing. Let me show you some live recordings from a couple of experiments that demonstrate what I mean. I'm now going to ask Claire to turn around so she can't see me, and I'm going to stop speaking so my voice doesn't affect her heart rate. What you are looking at here is a display from the synchronization app showing our heart rates changing in real time. Mine is in blue and Claire's is in red. I am now focusing my attention on Claire and feeling my love, appreciation and gratitude for her. I'm also deliberately changing my breathing pattern so it is deeper and longer than normal. Notice how my heart rate rises on the in-breath and falls on the out-breath. You can see that Claire's heart rate is beginning to synchronize with mine, suggesting that her breathing is also synchronizing. I promise you that I'm not following her heart rate changes here. I'm driving her heart rate through my focused breath and attention. We know from research that this smooth rising and falling pattern is associated with the experience of love. So it seems that my love for her is being communicated to her in some way. To show that the first synchronization was not a coincidence, I have distracted myself from Claire. Gradually, my breathing pattern subsides along with Claire's. Then I focus again on her and return to my more distinct breathing pattern. Once again, Claire's heart rate responds. Here is the whole session showing the two periods of focus. Notice the synchronization of heart rate patterns related to the breathing, but also the way our average heart rates rise and fall together. You may be thinking there's another explanation for the synchronization that I've just shown you. Perhaps Claire is hearing my breathing patterns changing and responding unconsciously. To show you that this is not the case, I'm going to ask Claire to turn around now and leave the room and go into a hallway next door. She's going to open the door and then close it behind her so she can't hear me or see me. Now we're going to repeat the demonstration in separate rooms. As in the first demonstration, the pink bar shows when I'm focusing my love on Claire and at the same time adjusting my breathing pattern that you can see in blue. As I speed up the video, you can see Claire's heart rate rising as I focus on her and then falling again as I distract myself. I then focus again on Claire and you can see her breathing is synchronizing with my own. I end the demonstration with one more short period of focus. This is the date of the whole session. After 6 years of running such experiments, I am still amazed that I can influence Claire's heart rate in another room and without the involvement of conventional sensory communication. In recent years, HeartMath, an organisation that specialises in heart-focused breathing for well-being, has joined our research project. Together we have run a wide range of experiments at different distances of separation and with different pairs of experimenters, and the vast majority of these show some synchronization. Our research has therefore led us to a profound and far-reaching conclusion. We are not separate, independent beings. We are connected and interdependent and are continually communicating our thoughts and feelings with each other through our hearts. We have shown that we can influence and help another person simply by feeling our love for them, whether we're in the same room or separated by a large distance. These groundbreaking discoveries open the door to a radically new understanding of consciousness, interpersonal communication, and relationship dynamics. They also show why many of us have a powerful sense of the spiritual and explain how prayer and alternative healing practices might work. I want to help you embrace all these things and discover far more success, happiness and meaning in your relationships. So here are the 3 practical steps you can take to connect heart to heart with anybody. The first step is to adjust your breathing so it is slightly deeper and longer than usual, roughly 5 seconds on the in-breath and 5 on the out-breath. Do not force the breathing, find a pattern that is comfortable and keep this going as you connect. This will help you open your heart. Step 2 is to become as present as you can with the person you're focusing on. Set aside all other thoughts and make them the single point of your attention. If you are with them in the same room, and is possible to do so, make eye contact with them, but do not stare. Step 3 is to feel all the love, appreciation and gratitude you can for them. Imagine the lovely times you've had together. See their natural beauty. Be grateful for having them in your life. As you feel love for them, stay open to receiving their love in return. If you can do these 3 things, you will experience a powerful sense of connection with the other person. You can apply these steps to any relationship, but as you are aware, some are more challenging than others. Our research has shown just how fragile heart connection is and how easily it is lost when our psychological barriers are triggered. That's why we're moving on from the research to help people open their hearts and stay present, even in difficult relationships. Connected Hearts tells a fascinating story of the heart synchronization research and why an open and loving heart is the key to a happy and successful relationship. It is full of practical tips on how you can improve your own relationships and live in a more heart-centered and interdependent way. Of course, the research is still in its infancy, and we recognise that our discoveries are scientifically challenging. We are therefore inviting other researchers to reproduce our experiments and attempt to replicate our results. All that we ask is that they conduct their research with at least some participants of open and loving hearts, because without this, the synchronization will be lost. I hope that what you have just seen inspires you and speaks to your intuition. You are probably drawn to this video because deep within you have always known that your heart lies at the core of your being and connects you to the experience of love. The science is reminding us of just how important our hearts are to our relationships and to a happy and fulfilled life. We want to spread this wonderful knowledge to as many people as possible, so please share this video with your family, friends and colleagues. If enough of us can connect our hearts in the spirit of love, we can build a more compassionate, caring and peaceful world.